In this video, we are going to go through IBC Global's company process for you, the policyholder or potential policyholder. So really when working with individuals, often we get the question, well, what should I expect? What should I expect when working with IBC Global in terms of seeing different options, the underwriting process, how long does it take? What's it look like after I buy a policy? Do you guys sell a policy and then just disappear? No, we do not. But we're going to go through everything very thoroughly during this series. What we'll begin with is the beginning. So when you first connect with us, which may have involved you visiting our website, perhaps you were referred by someone else. When you first connect with us, you're going to be put in touch with an agent, or an agent will reach out to you. If you called in our 800 number, I may have picked up and said, IBC Global, what can I get you information on? But you'll be put directly in touch with an agent, and really their job is to provide information, answer any questions you have, and be your primary point of contact as the years pass. You'll have access to our entire company, but you will have a primary point of contact as well. We show a number of policy options, really provide education on everything and anything in respect to cash value life insurance and how it will fit into your overall plan as well. Follow up. We do make it a point to consistently follow up with you. This way you do not have to feel like you have to follow up with us to start your policy. No, you've got a million things going on. We want to make sure that we are there, continuously pushing everything through on the back end from the options, underwriting, all of that important stuff. The next piece, very important here, policy design and company selection. And I've got in-house written right here too. We design all of our policies in-house, and just about all of them are designed for maximum cash value. The only reason it would not be designed for maximum cash value is if the individual specifically requested that. Maybe they have specific objections with the death benefit or something like that. But when it comes to designing policies in-house, really having an expertise on the illustration software, historical performance, mech testing, all of that good stuff, our training in respect to designing policies is fairly intense at the office. And as far as who will be designing your policy, could be your primary agent. Most of our agents are very well versed with the illustration software. We spend a ton of time with it. We have a case design department, which is responsible for cranking out a ton of volume as far as illustrations. We like to show you a number of options, and then I do it as well. I mean, I can't stop. I just enjoy it way too much, so I keep on designing policies. Company selection. Oh, so back to this on the in-house piece. Why I mention that is you do not need to worry about your policy ever being designed by someone else. We're designing it in-house. Company selection. You've likely heard me talk about the big four, the four major mutual companies. At IBC Global, we primarily use, because most people gravitate toward, Mass Mutual and Guardian. And the main reason why is they are two of the four major mutual companies, and what that means is we've seen them actually deliver strong cash values to consumers. Big issue with whole life insurance, and this has been the case forever, for over 100 years, is people buy a policy thinking that it's going to deliver these stellar results based on the illustration, and then it under-delivers. The consumer's not happy. We've seen when the policy's designed properly with the four major mutual companies, we've seen consistency there, which is so important. But still here, if we're going to show you different products and options with these two companies, how do you select? Well, this goes back to seeing different options. Your agent will provide information. As a quick example, Mass Mutual is a great option if you said, hey, I want a minimum premium, but I want to be able to pay as much money into this policy as long as possible. And I'm comfortable with a one-time per year payment. Whereas Guardian is fantastic if you said, you know what, I want a ton of flexibility. I want to commit to the minimum only, so it never feels like a burden, and then just add more to this policy depending on me and my cash flow. And I'd like to pay into it maybe for 10 years and then stop. Maybe it's 5 years and then stop. My point is we're going to show you options. I'm going to pull up a couple in a second here. And we've got videos that go into full detail as far as Mass Mutual and Guardian flexibility features. How much and how long? How much would you like the ability to pay into a policy, and how long do you want to pay into it? If you said, hey, I'd like to be able to pay in $100,000 per year, but I do not want to get a bill for $100,000 per year. How would I set up a policy? Well, did you know you can design a policy where we have a minimum premium of, call it $10,000 per year, and then at your discretion, you can add up to $100,000 per year. How long do you want to pay into it? You know, I mention this because very, very frequently, we will speak with individuals, and during the conversation, they feel that they should pay into a policy as long as possible. Because of research they've done, they were told, hey, you know, I was under the expectation that I should just keep paying into this for as long as possible. And then we hear, I'm not really into that. So many people express, well, I want to stop after 10 years or at a certain age. Maybe I'll keep going, but I want options. Let's look at some options. So to demonstrate real quickly, here is a Guardian illustration. We see the policy design, 1090 split in this particular case. But this was a case where he said, hey, I've got a lump sum of money, $500,000. There's his payment, $100K for 5 years. And after I get that lump sum in, I am done. Steve, I don't want to have to pay another penny into it. So we designed it accordingly. There's his cash value, breaking even between 4 and 5. Okay, everything's designed properly, and not a penny paid in thereafter. But then, perhaps year 5, pretend this is you. You say, you know what? I've got this policy. Life changed for the better. What's it look like if I want to keep paying into it? Can I do that? And the answer is yes. Maybe it's not the same $100,000 per year. It's the same policy. Year 5, you see the 507 mark, or value, I should say. What do we see after the 5th year? He continues to make payments. This is an option with Guardian, with their indexed feature attached. And then we've got the same policy without their indexed feature attached. If you said, hey, that MassMutual example that I heard about, I'd like to pay into it for a long period of time. Can you show me what that looks like? Let's take a look at the MassMutual example. We see a policy designed with a minimum premium here, $10,000 minimum relative to how much he wants to pay in. There's his payment, $100K per year. There's his cash value, about 88% right off the bat. Death benefit, $2.9 million. His MEC limit is just over $100K. Break even, year 5. So he's got rich cash value up front, but he wants to keep paying into it. So in this example, he pays into it up until age 65. Continues to feed the policy over time. There's cash value, 4.2 and change. $2.5 million total paid in. The point is, we don't know right off the bat exactly what individuals are looking for. However, by asking these questions, we'll find out. Or you may come in and say, here's exactly what I want to do with my policy. But in asking those questions, we can identify. My point is, it's about what you want to accomplish with the policy. As you continue to work with your agent, we'll show additional options, and that could involve what policy loans look like, taking income from the policy, and perhaps it's some strategic planning as well. And what that means is maybe we are preparing a model to see exactly how that policy fits into your estate plan, because you've got funds in 401ks, stocks and bonds, real estate. You say, hey, I've got a large taxable estate here. If I die, my family's really going to get hit hard. How does life insurance fit in? I'd like to allocate a lot of money here for estate tax planning purposes, but I still want access to the cash value. So when I have a trust own this policy, it must be set up properly. And in a case like that, when we are strategically planning everything, we're going to involve a competent attorney as well. Maybe you have one, we do have some resources as well, but we want to make sure that everything is set up properly. So that is really the beginning, step 1, which can easily be broken up into a number of steps, but we want to make sure we provide information. Everything's real. You see the numbers, exactly how it works, field questions, and this is just the start. Throughout the process, we continue to provide all of this information and answer questions as well. Hope you enjoyed part 1. We will continue on with the next video leading into underwriting.